In a stunning twist that has shaken Salem and left longtime fans of Days of Our Lives reeling, young lovers Holly Jonas and Tate Black have officially gone their separate ways, at least for now. The news of their breakup has sparked passionate debates among viewers. Was Holly justified in ending things, or was she simply overwhelmed by a flood of difficult emotions? A complicated young love. Like many romantic pairings in the ever-dramatic town of Salem, Holly and Tate's relationship was never simple. From the beginning, they faced countless obstacles, not only from their families, who doubted their compatibility, but from the shadow of Tate's troubled past and Holly's internal struggle to trust him completely. Now, after a series of missteps and misunderstandings, Holly has chosen to walk away. But is this truly the end of the road for these star-crossed teens? The final blow, a betrayal of trust. The tipping point came when Tate made a decision that Holly saw as a deep betrayal. Viewers will recall that Doug Williams III had been keeping a difficult secret involving the theft of a treasured necklace, a secret he planned to reveal to his grandmother, the beloved Julie Williams, in his own time and on his own terms. But Tate, troubled by Doug's behavior and growing increasingly concerned about Holly's involvement with someone he believed to be dangerous, took matters into his own hands. He confided in Julie, shattering the fragile trust between Doug and his grandmother, and, ultimately, between Holly and himself. Tate's choice to betray that confidence came across as impulsive, if not reckless. And while his motivations weren't entirely selfish, he genuinely feared for Holly's well-being. His actions painted him in an unflattering light. Holly, who had begged Tate to stay silent, saw his decision not only as a violation of her wishes but as a sign that he didn't trust her judgment. Worse still, she didn't hear about it from Tate himself. Instead, Maggie Kyriakis, ever the bearer of difficult truths, was the one to break the news. For Holly, this compounded the hurt. Tate had not only disobeyed her request but had failed to be honest with her after the fact. More than just one mistake. As painful as this betrayal was, longtime viewers know that Holly and Tate's romance had already been weathering multiple storms. This wasn't their first clash, and it certainly wasn't their first brush with heartbreak. But this particular incident felt different. It was, as Holly later admitted to her mother, Nicole, the last straw. Much of the tension in their relationship has stemmed from Tate's complicated connection to Sophia Choi, the mother of his child. Though Tate has repeatedly assured Holly that he has no romantic interest in Sophia, the reality of co-parenting, or even navigating the possible adoption of the child, has weighed heavily on Holly's heart. She's tried to be supportive. She's tried to be mature. But it's difficult for any young woman, especially one with such a traumatic history and emotional vulnerability, to fully accept that the man she loves shares a child with someone else. And in Holly's case, that lingering pain has only intensified with each new hurdle they've had to jump. As their story played out on screen, fans began to see the cracks forming in their foundation. From Tate's jealous tendencies to Holly's internal doubts, it seemed only a matter of time before their love story took a turn for the tragic. A young woman's moment of clarity. When Holly finally made the decision to break things off, it was not in anger, but in exhaustion. She expressed sadness, not rage. Disappointment, not hatred. And for viewers, that was perhaps the most heartbreaking part. This was not a fiery breakup filled with shouting or accusations. It was the quiet unraveling of two people who had grown too far apart to hold on. Despite everything, Holly still cares deeply for Tate. But she no longer believes they can move forward, not with so much mistrust, so many complications, and so many wounds that have yet to heal. "I need to figure out who I am without you," she reportedly told Tate in their final conversation. "And maybe you need to do the same." Hope on the horizon? Yet, despite the sadness surrounding their breakup, there may still be hope. In a recent interview with Soap Opera Digest, actress Ashley Puzimis, who plays Holly, offered a glimmer of optimism. "I'm not upset about it," she said of the split. "Because Leo, Howard, who plays Tate, and I both knew that we had a relationship where Tate and Holly were the ultimate goals. We both know that they'll eventually get back together, at least we hope so." Her words have sparked a wave of hope among loyal viewers. Could this just be a bump in the road for the young couple? Is there still a future for Holly and Tate, despite all the pain and conflict that has driven them apart? A familiar pattern in Salem. For longtime Days fans, this type of romantic detour is nothing new. From Beau and Hope to John and Marlena, Salem has always been a place where love stories twist and turn, only to find their way back to the center. Could Holly and Tate be the next great love story to follow that path? It's worth remembering that the pressures placed on young love, especially in a town as chaotic as Salem, can sometimes feel insurmountable. But love, especially in the world of soaps, has a way of rising from the ashes. If Tate can prove himself worthy of a second chance, and if Holly can find healing and perspective on her own journey, then perhaps their story isn't over. Perhaps, like so many before them, their love just needs time. What's next? For now, Days of Our Lives spoilers suggest that both Holly and Tate will take some time to focus on themselves and their families. Holly may lean on her mother, Nicole, and stepfather, Ij, for emotional support. Tate may be forced to confront his own behavior and decide whether he truly understands what it means to love someone selflessly. Fans can expect a period of reflection, growth, and, perhaps, redemption. The door hasn't been closed forever, just for now. And in Salem, we all know that time has a funny way of rewriting endings. So, while Holly's decision to end things was undoubtedly painful, it may have been necessary. Whether this breakup marks the end, or a powerful new beginning, remains to be seen. But for those of us who've watched Salem's finest fight for love again and again, we know one thing: never say never.